Although Blue Bloods Season 14, Episode 12, included what seemed like a silly story for Jamie, Will Estes, this case might be more important to the wrap-up of his storyline than it initially seemed. CBS made the disappointing decision to cancel Blue Bloods despite its popularity, but split the final season into 2 parts, with the last few episodes airing very soon. The writers have already begun setting up the series end, including Jamie and Eddie, Vanessa Ray, discussing the possibility of having a baby. There has been no follow-up to Jamie and Eddie's discussion, and the two did not share any scenes in episode 12 except for at Blue Blood's Reagan family dinner. Instead, Jamie works on a case involving 3 clueless guys who claim that someone from an online gambling company placed fraudulent bets that caused them to lose money. This story seems more light-hearted than Jamie's typical cases, and the resolution is particularly bizarre. However, the final scene could impact Jamie's thoughts about becoming a father as Blue Bloods wraps things up. Jamie's Blue Bloods Season 14, Episode 12 case saw him working with misbehaving kids. The solution to this Blue Bloods mystery turned out to be the victims' kids using their accounts. Jamie's investigation into the 3 gamblers' claims ends with a surprise twist. Jamie calls the victims in to face the culprits, who turn out to be their preteen children. Instead of filing charges, he advises the shocked fathers to spend more time playing sports with your kids and less time betting on sports with them, before letting everyone go home. This appears to be a silly ending to a goofy storyline that had begun with the 3 gamblers being too busy placing bets to pay much attention to Jamie's questions when he arrives to take their statements. However, the fathers' responses to their children's actions suggest they aren't taking it any more seriously then, adding to the sense that this storyline is meant to be comic relief. It is unclear whether they took Jamie's warning seriously, as one father's takeaway is that he needs to change his password, which his daughter had found on a post-it note and used to get into his account. Thus, while Jamie's advice demonstrates that he tries to help citizens out even when they've wasted their time with nonsense, it doesn't appear to resonate, making the storyline seem pointless. How Jamie's latest case can influence his and Eddie's personal Blue Bloods ending. Dealing with misbehaving preteens could change Jamie's perspective on becoming a father in the Blue Bloods finale. Jamie, Will Estes, and Eddie, Vanessa Ray, holding hands at the Reagan family dinner in Blue Bloods. While his story hardly makes for one of Blue Blood's best episodes, there might have been a deeper purpose behind it, considering that Jamie and Eddie recently discussed having children. Eddie's interest in having kids of her own is sparked when she takes care of a traumatized child whose mother has been shot while social services search for other relatives, but that child is sweet and docile. On the other hand, dealing with the preteens in Season 14, Episode 12 might make Jamie realize how difficult parenting might be in the future. Additionally, this story could alert Jamie to some of the dangers kids face in the digital age that he will have to consider when his kids get old enough to use smartphone apps. Jamie has been a cop since the beginning of Blue Bloods, but the cases he deals with will hit him differently now that he is considering fatherhood. He's unlikely to change his mind about having children, but he and Eddie may need to discuss some of these issues before beginning their parenting journey, which could lead to an emotional storyline as the series concludes.